All right, so today I went into Womp, which I've seen on TikTok and some Pinterest art has been made out of it. So I decided to make this little fluffy puffball guy on the right that's in my Pinterest tab. I thought he'd be easy because he's made of spheres. So anytime in design, really illustration and modeling, you always start with shapes, circle, triangle, rectangle, sphere, pyramid, rectangle. So he is made of spheres. This part I am adjusting the leg so the objects don't move at random. They move on the X, Y, and Z axis. So X being left and right, Y being up and down, Z being forward and back. And you can see those arrows every time you select an item, and all you have to do is click on it. Everything on the right side of the screen underneath the effect I'm messing with right now is the positioning on the plane. And what I was just using is goop, which is their special tool. So goop allows you to combine objects much like it would be if you put water on clay. It would kind of smooth into, they would smooth into each other. This part I am adjusting. I have to catch up with what I'm doing because I went on a tangent. I copy, duplicated, and mirrored objects. So as you see, I copied and duplicated one leg and it mirrored onto the other side. Now I'm just adjusting it to make it look like the little nubs for his feet. Looks pretty good at this point, but I'm checking it all around since it's 3D. You can tell he's got a little bit of a backwards knee. So I'm pulling it forward and back to adjust the fears that make up the leg to make them look more nub-like without joints. And I think I liked how this looked. So we'll go to the next step. This part, I was noticing when I looked at it from left and right, it wasn't really sitting on the ground. And I copied, duplicated, added another body sphere. So you can see I'm kind of pulling the sphere down so that it's resting on the ground and it has a little bit of a I don't know, sagginess. It just looks like a plush. Of course, I don't end up using plush material because they don't have it in Womp yet. But at least it looks like it was made of something and it's resting in gravity. Next step, I'm doing a little adjusting and then I take the top knot sphere and create a nose out of it. So you'll see when you select it, there is a cube, which is the boundary for a shape, and you can shift and downsize or scale up an item, an object. So now I'm adjusting where the nose, actually this is the eye, I apologize. This is the eye. So I copy paste and add another eye after this. I'm saying this because the nose, it was the same process. I don't know if this is the right process, but that's what I ended up doing. So now I'm making sure the eye is poking out as far as I want it to, so it looks like a little bead, as it is in the Pinterest photo. And I pull the other eye over after I've copied it. In this part, it took a minute because um, it does like snap, sort of like Adobe Illustrator does snap to certain boundaries. So the nose took me a minute as well as the mouth, which I don't show because that process was ugly and certainly not the right way to do the mouth now that I've done a little bit more experimentation. But yeah, I get the eyes and nose set. Next is really just me, I think, doing some extra adjustments, making sure the face looks symmetrical and correct in my eyes. So Womp has, after this, I added the mouth, like I said, and then I put color and texture. So the textures are called materials, and there's a bunch of materials, and you'll see them come up. There's metallic, there's glass, there's stone, concrete, jelly, food, there's cheddar cheese. Some of them are in the pro level where you have to pay, but I added all of those textures on, and you'll see what I came up with. Here he is. I ended up doing a little cherry on top that looks like it's made out of glass, and the body's made out of like an opaque, milky glass.